Have you had David Deutsch on the show? David Deutsch is a really interesting physicist.
I don't believe I have.
He's one of the
No.
founders of quantum computing, and so
Okay.
he's a big figure in quantum computing in particular, but he's a great thinker. And I was reading some stuff he wrote recently, and he pointed out that it's not necessarily true that life is temporary, because you could imagine a situation as you go into the far future. Let's imagine that we continue for 1 million years or 1 billion years as a civilization. Imagine what we could do. It is possible that life can get so advanced in the universe that it can start to manipulate the universe itself. So, or at least stars. You could he said you could imagine, for example, just imagine, really wild speculation, but imagine life gets so advanced that it can start to change the destiny of a star. Maybe it could start to add material into the star or something,
Right.
whatever. So we don't know how to do that or if it's possible, but imagine it could. Then the evolution of stars life would matter in the sense that it could start to change the way that the universe behaves on a large scale in the future. And so it reminded me, actually, there's another great book by John Barrow and Frank Tipler called The Anthropic Cosmological Principle from the 1980s. It's one of my favourite books, actually. And I remembered it. And in there, they speculate about this life in the far, far future. And if it became powerful enough to manipulate the whole universe or the observable universe, then suddenly you
It's
can't
God.
make predictions about the far future unless you consider the possible impact of life on the universe. And whilst this is, I should say, it's wildly speculative, but it's actually logically, it's quite an interesting point. So I kind of disagree with myself a few years ago, where I would have said that life is extremely valuable because it brings meaning to the universe, but temporarily.